Albert Einstein said, "Only a life lived for others is worth living." Now, this is also the message of Jesus Christ. There are many other famous people who have repeated it over the years and who have learned from the example of Jesus Christ that serving others, caring about others, loving others is the most important thing that you will ever do in your life. It's the thing that you are designed for. And Jesus Christ gives much attention to this, but a number of other writers have talked about this, including the Swiss psychologist, Dr. Paul Tournier. And he says that it is for love that God created the world. It is for love that God created the world. To love is to will the good for another, he says. This is very similar to what Milton Mayeroff, the writer of the book on caring, has been describing to us in this series. To love is to will the good for another. All of these things that we have just mentioned are tied together, are very similar. And there are a few other things tied to this that we need to explore momentarily in this brief episode, Caring One-on-One, 101, episode 7. What we can do for others and for the world at large must always begin in ourselves. This is Paul Tournier again. We need to think about what that means. Closer relationship and personal change go together. And we'll see that as we explore a little bit more. Listening is part of really caring. There is a very close link, though, between love and understanding, Tournier says. He who loves understands, and he who understands loves. Now, this is more profound than I can tell you at this moment. It reminds me of something that Jesus Christ himself said in John 13. And he was in the middle of serving others. He was down on his knees, down washing the dirty feet, filthy, dirty feet of his disciples. He was cleaning their feet as a service to them, something they needed done. He chose to do. And Peter did not understand why he was doing this. And Jesus replied to him in verse 7. He said, "You don't understand now what I am doing, but someday you will." And he goes on to tell his followers, "I have given you an example to follow. Do as I have done to you." He just served them. He just did something that a lot of people did not want to do. It was a dirty job. But it was needed, and it showed caring on his part. It showed love. Jesus' example, serving his followers, was an example of love, a deep caring. And Tronier goes on to say, he who loves understands, and he who understands loves. One who feels understood feels loved, and one who feels loved feels sure of being understood. These things all go together. Being loved and feeling understood go together. This is why it's so important to human beings. Human beings need to feel understood. They need to feel cared about, listened to. And when somebody chooses to serve, what they're doing is they are expressly demonstrating the kind of love that Jesus Christ just said to follow his example in. Now, this is all quite momentous, and we need to really just reflect on this for a while. Mayeroff, in talking about this, he actually talks about empathy in this, and he says to care for another person, I must be able to understand him and his world as if I were inside it. This is a very good definition of empathy. This is part of the reason Jesus Christ came, and the reason why he gave us this example of love, to bring this about. Jesus Christ comes into the world and as a human being in order to show us he understands, in order to share in our human experience, but to demonstrate to us what this humanity is for. And it is for caring, for pure, genuine love. And it brings great understanding. This is the solution to all problems, is this kind of love that God created the world for, that he is the source of. And so everything is integrated into this reality of the need that human beings experience for caring and for love. Caring equals being with and for the other. You are for the other. These things go together. Now, at some point along the way, and we'll talk about all of this more another time, but in a meaningful friendship, caring is mutual. This is the way it's intended to be. Each cares for the other, and caring becomes contagious. When Jesus Christ gives this example in John 13 of serving and loving, he is setting the pattern for all human beings to learn how to really care about those around us and to serve them, to love them, and to bring about understanding. This is the most colossal gift possible to humanity. What Jesus Christ did, he was giving himself completely, and he did give himself completely for humanity because of this love that we're talking about, for which God created all things. He is the God of love, and you and I need to listen to him and learn from him and pay attention to the example of his Son, Jesus Christ, each day. Each day. I hope that this is helpful to you. I hope that it helps to steer you forward. This is what true progress is about, development and learning. And we do it in a caring way, and it brings great caring, great understanding. It brings closeness, all the things that human beings need so badly. We'll talk some more next time. Thank you. Bye-bye.